Shy girl slips a note on a parked car, unknowingly touches the heart of a lonely millionaire. You parked like crap, the note started, but I hope your day gets better. That's it. That's what she wrote, in tiny handwriting on the back of an old grocery receipt. Her hands were shaking as she tucked it under the windshield wiper. Then she turned and walked off like she'd just committed a federal crime. LaCaney wasn't the type to talk to strangers. She barely talked to people she knew. But something about that car. The way it sat crooked across two spaces like the driver didn't care about the world. Or maybe just didn't have the energy to care. It hit something in her. She didn't plan it. She was just walking home from work, earbuds in, head down like always. Then she saw it. Silver BMW. Dirty, expensive looking. Parked all wrong. Windows fogged from the inside like someone had just been crying in there. And before she could talk herself out of it, she was writing the note. You parked like crap, but I hope your day gets better. She laughed at herself the whole walk home. What are you, some kind of emotional vigilante now? She mumbled under her breath. She didn't know who drove that car. Didn't know he was still sitting inside, engine off, watching her walk away in the rear view. Didn't know his hands were on the steering wheel so tight, his knuckles looked like porcelain. Didn't know that note would be the first kind thing anyone had done for him in, well, years. And she definitely didn't know he was rich. Like, disgustingly rich. But also broken in a way money never fixed. The note sat in his lap like it weighed 5 pounds. You parked like crap, but I hope your day gets better. He read it once, then again, then again. For some reason, it hurt, but not in a bad way. More like the way it hurts when a song hits a memory you thought you buried deep enough. He laughed, just a breath, a sound that cracked in the middle. It was the first time he'd laughed in 3 weeks. 3 weeks since the board voted him out of his own company. 3 weeks since the headlines started calling him the fallen genius. 3 weeks since his so-called friends disappeared faster than champagne bubbles. Now it was just him. Him and his car in a silence so heavy it buzzed. He didn't even remember how long he'd been sitting in that lot. Didn't care. Didn't plan to move. Until the note. He looked up, trying to remember her, the girl. She walked fast, head down. Hoodie too big. A ghost trying not to be seen. But he saw her. And now he couldn't stop thinking about her. A stranger. A note. 10 scribbled words that hit harder than any therapy session ever had. He opened his glove box, pulled out a pen, and flipped the note over. Then he wrote, "Come back. I owe you a better parking job." He didn't know if she'd return. But for the first time in weeks, he kind of hoped she would. LaCaney walked the same route the next day. Not because she planned to. Not because she expected anything. She just happened to go that way. Okay, fine. She wanted to see if the car was still there. And it was. Same BMW, same crooked parking job. But this time, something was different. A note, tucked under the same wiper blade. Her name wasn't on it, obviously. But it was on the back of her old grocery receipt. She blinked. Heart skipped. Slowly, she pulled the paper free, opened it. "Come back. I owe you a better parking job." She stood there, frozen, holding it like it might disappear. Who writes back to a passive-aggressive parking note? Who turns it into a conversation? What kind of person waits? Her eyes scanned the lot. Nothing. No sign of anyone watching. But her skin tingled like someone was. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know what this was. All she knew was, for the first time in forever, Someone saw her. And maybe, just maybe, she wasn't invisible after all. She reached into her bag, found a pen. Then, on the same piece of paper, under his words, she wrote, "Then park straight and tell me your name," and left it there. He hadn't moved the car all night, didn't sleep, didn't go home, just watched the stars fade behind city haze, waiting. And then, late morning, the note was back. Same paper, same fold. New words, "Then park straight and tell me your name." He smiled. Not the kind that looked good in photos, the real kind. The slow, aching kind that crept in from somewhere forgotten. He grabbed his pen again, wrote beneath her message, "My name is Asher. I built things once. Now I sit in parking lots and wait for girls who write better than they think they do." Then, unsure, he added, "Tell me yours," and left the note like a promise, a small white flag of hope. LaChain returned again, even though everything in her wanted to turn and walk away. Even though this was the most terrifying thing she'd done since speaking in 7th grade English class. She saw the note, saw her own words staring back, and under them, a name. Asher. She didn't know it yet, but she'd heard that name before. In articles, in interviews. He wasn't just rich, he was that rich. The kind who disappeared after building something the world couldn't stop using. And now he was here, talking to her, through scraps of paper on a dusty windshield. She took out her pen. "LaChain, I don't usually talk to people, but you're terrible at parking and kind of good at this." She hesitated, then added one more thing. "P.S. Do you like coffee?" And walked away before she could regret all of it. He saw the note before she even rounded the corner. It was folded differently this time. Neater, more intentional. He read it 3 times before his brain even let him feel the last line. "P.S. Do you like coffee?" He laughed. Out loud. Startled a pigeon, scared his own reflection in the side mirror. She asked a question. She was opening the door. He reached for the pen, but stopped. Number not this time. LaChaney didn't expect to see him standing there, leaning against the car like it was the most natural thing in the world. She nearly turned around, but he saw her, smiled, held something up in his hand, a cup, coffee, 2 of them. "I guessed," he said. His voice was low, a little rough. "I didn't know if you'd come back today, so I just waited." She stood there, frozen again. He extended the cup. "LaChain, right?" He said her name like he'd practiced it. She nodded slowly, took the cup. Neither of them spoke for a second. It was awkward and beautiful. "I'm Asher," he added, though they both already knew. "I'm not great at this, but I'm better when I have caffeine in my hand." She gave the smallest smile. Barely there, but it changed her whole face. "I'm not great at this either," she whispered. And just like that, 2 broken strangers stood in the soft glow of something new. Neither had any idea where this was going. But for now, coffee was enough. And tomorrow didn't seem quite so heavy. They talked for 17 minutes. 15 were light and clumsy. The weather, their bad coffee, a pigeon with 1 foot. But in mine at 16, something shifted. "So, what do you do, Asher?" she asked, half playful. He hesitated, looked down at his coffee, then finally said it. "I used to build things, apps, technology, one of them, Lumen. That was mine." Her eyes widened. "The Lumen?" "That app helped me through some really rough nights." His face flickered, surprise, then something gentler, something like healing. "You have no idea how much that means," he said softly. She shrugged, suddenly shy again. Just telling the truth. He looked at her like she was a sunrise he hadn't earned. Like she saw him without the mess. Most people only remember the crash, he said. Then maybe they're looking the wrong way, she replied. The moment hung between them. Simple. Real. Whole. Then her phone buzzed. Work. Life calling. I should go, she said, a little slower than she meant to. He nodded, but didn't look away. Will I see you again? She grinned, a real one this time. Bright, brave, Heron. You park like a human. You might get lucky. He laughed. Challenge accepted. She started to walk off, then turned back. Oh, and Asher? Yeah? I like my coffee hot next time. And just like that, she was gone. But the air felt warmer, the world lighter. And in that silent parking lot, under a slowly clearing sky, Asher smiled to himself and whispered, There's going to be a next time.